Alright, hello again. Our final video for today is going to focus on the last assignment, the PowerPoint presentation mini mock trial assignment. So some of the directions for this are in the syllabus. We're each going to do a PowerPoint presentation with a minimum of 8 slides, not including your introduction or works cited. You're going to use proper grammar and spelling. You can use humor, pictures, colors. And your goal is to persuade a juror to take your side. If your last name is A through L, you're the prosecution. If your last name is M through Z, you're a defense attorney. In the sections of this criminal trial, look at the jury selection, and you have a question for each one. So your slide should focus on answering this question. You have an opening statement for each side. Prosecution, you want to demonstrate that you can prove this defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt using facts. Defense, you want to raise some doubts or questions as to why your client's innocent or not guilty. There's going to be some witness testimony in our fact pattern. So prosecution and defense, what questions are you going to ask, why, and what kind of questions are you going to ask on the cross-examination? Now, defense attorneys could strategically decide not to call any witnesses. If you take this tactic as a defense attorney, you need to still put together a slide and justify why you're deciding not to call any witnesses as a tactic and explain what could go wrong. Each side will then have a closing argument that is with the main goal to persuade. The jury instructions are in your fact pattern. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then there's going to be a verdict. So each side is going to explain why the jury might convict and why the jury might not by supporting the evidence. So you're both going to be thinking like each side here. Now, your fact pattern is posted on Canvas, and this is what it looks like. We're having a criminal mock trial here, the state versus Jesse Sunderson. So on February 7th at 1 p.m., firecrackers exploded in an empty locker room at Jefferson High School, causing severe damage to the lockers and burns to one student. The assistant principal searched some other lockers and found several types of firecrackers in the locker assigned to Jesse Sunderson. Jesse has been charged with possession of firecrackers, damage to school property, and battery. So our issue is, did these firecrackers belong to Jesse and did he put them in the empty locker? The defense is going to try and prove that he is the victim of retaliation because he had told the principal and his coach about some on-campus alcohol use from other students. So our prosecution has 2 witnesses assigned to them, Leslie Stewart, the assistant principal, and this is her statement. Mickey Price is the soccer coach at the high school, and Jesse is one of his students. He had been suspended for the team, and while he had been suspended, he complained that it wasn't fair to suspend him while other players were using alcohol on school property. The defense has 2 witnesses as well. One is Jesse Sunderson himself, who is going to testify on his own behalf. The other one is Aaron Thompson, a classmate who heard kids complaining and had a locker in that wing. Our jury instructions are that the prosecution must set out such a convincing case against the defendant that the jury will find him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And we have some law here, damage to property. Whoever intentionally causes damage to physical property may be sentenced to imprisonment of not more than 5 years, which means that this is a felony, and payment of not more than $10,000. The sale and use of fireworks is strictly prohibited in this state. And then battery is the unlawful or unauthorized application of force to another person resulting in contact that is either harmful or offensive. This is usually connected with assault, but that's not what happened here. The state is trying to make the claim of battery based on the harm caused to the student for the burns. Battery is a misdemeanor. Now, you will be using these facts to create your argument depending on whether you are assigned to the prosecution or the defense. If you have all semester to work on this project, you may turn it in early. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know.